What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you a brand new video. Today's video going over Week 11's first look at the DraftKings main slate. So, I think last week we could all agree was kind of bad as far as I mean, a lot of those games were bad. Last night was kind of bad. Sunday night wasn't the greatest. Sunday, a majority of those games are pretty bad from a fantasy perspective. If it wasn't for Thursday night's game, it would have been bad. Even Sunday morning's game was awful. Hopefully we get a better fantasy week this week. Well, let's start it off. Lamar Jackson, 8K against Pittsburgh. Big, probably the biggest rivalry in football is Baltimore-Pittsburgh. Even when one or both of the teams are bad, they play each other really tough. So, 8K Lamar against Pittsburgh, just not there for me. 7,800 Josh Allen against Kansas City. We know how these games are. Two of the best quarterbacks in the league going at it. Both defenses fairly well against the pass, but I think you're just gonna. I really hope Amari Cooper is available in this one. Kalen Coleman already ruled out. Rashee Rice, done. Maybe Juju back, but I'm hoping this game continues to be a game that we love watching. Is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, going into this one, if you could afford Josh Allen at 7,800, I think it's okay. Jordan Love against the Bears is kind of tough. I think I like the run game. Mahomes on the other side of that one, 6,800. Yeah. Mahomes hasn't played great this season from a fantasy perspective. Even from a stat perspective, 9 interceptions out of Mahomes. Granted, the last 2 weeks since getting DeAndre Hopkins kind of involved in the offense, Mahomes' numbers have been a lot better, but they should have lost against Denver. But maybe we get one of the better Mahomes fantasy performances we've had this season. Brock Purdy against Seattle, that one kind of looks very intriguing. Big division game there. I like Brock Purdy in that one. Kirk Cousins kind of no against Denver. Jared Goff looks like a really good matchup against Jacksonville at 6,300. His price goes down, right? He's 60. That's a primetime price. Not looking at that one. So 65, 66. So had some underperforming games. Got a really good matchup against Jacksonville at home. So 6,300. Jared Goff looks really good. Bo Nix looks really good against Atlanta at 6,200. Not really feeling Sam Darnold there yet. 2 against Vegas. That one seems like a pretty good price for Tua. Russell Wilson, 5,900 against Baltimore. That one kind of seems intriguing. We've seen Russ's kind of performance here. Doesn't really move in price, so kind of like Russ. Stafford, no, against New England. Geno Smith against San Fran. If DK Metcalf's back, then yeah, I kind of like Geno Smith in this one. Did they expect Russell Wilson out? Why is Justin Fields 5,600? Why? He's a backup. Why is a backup more expensive than actual starters? Drake May, 5,600 against the Rams. I kind of like that price point matchup there for him. Aaron Rodgers goes down in price, 5,500 against Indy at home. Kind of saw a terrible performance out of him. 5 fantasy points in that one. Going down, Jameis Winston in a revenge game. Just saying. Trevor Lawrence, if he's a starter, 5,400 against Detroit. Caleb Williams is intriguing at his price point. But, this has just been ugly, right? This has been ugly the last 3 weeks out of Caleb Williams. His price is really, really, really good for the potential that offense can have. The ceiling is good. They're at home. they're at home. We kind of see an uptick in fantasy points at home. But that Waldron's gone, right? New offensive coordinator. But they got to get something going because they have too much talent on that offense to be underperforming the way they are. Joe Flacco, 5,300 against the Jets, kind of ugly there. Derek Carr, 52 against Cleveland. I don't mind that, honestly. Will Levis, 5,100 against Minnesota. I don't mind that one, actually. Against Minnesota at 5,100. Only needs to get, 15, 16 points to pay off. I don't mind that. Desmond Ridder, Gardner Minshew at 5K. Mac Jones, if he is the starter. Again, on the road against Detroit. Kind of tough one for him there. I would assume that's it. I don't think we have any injuries or stuff like that. Yeah. There's nothing else. So, going on to running backs. Christian McCaffrey, only 8,300. It was 8K last week, only 16 points, but, played a pretty good run defense, got utilized in the passing game, and literally got 20 opportunities, which is where they said they had him at. But a good matchup for CMC this week, and his price is still not crazy for the upside CMC brings. Derrick Henry, I'd say a tougher one against Pittsburgh. Kyron Williams, 7,900 against New England, seems really good right now. Bijan, tougher matchup against Denver. I don't know if I really get there. JT against the Jets, probably not. Breece Hall against Indy, maybe not. Gibbs against Jacksonville, yes. Devon Achane against Vegas seems really good as well, 7,200. Josh Jacobs against the Bears at 7,100. That one seems good as well. Aaron Jones, I don't know if I get there. I don't know if I get there on his price point. He's going down in price. We saw him way overpriced at 7,800. Now he's down to 7K, maybe. Aaron Jones got back in that game. I imagine he's back for his Tennessee, kind of tougher one there. Yeah, James Cook, no, against Kansas City. And Kareem Hunt, we're watching the status of Isaiah Pacheco. If Isaiah Pacheco's out, Kareem Hunt's in a really good spot at his price point, 6,700. DeAndre Swift in a good matchup at 6,600. David Montgomery, 6,500. He's in a good one as well. Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne, no and no in those ones. Najee, no. Jalen Warren's going to be getting used more and more. Ramondre, no. Nick Chubb against New Orleans, yes. At his price point, 6K, yes. Granted, you kind of look at his fantasy output, not the greatest. You look at the opportunities he's got since coming back off a major, potentially career-ending injury, and he's back. 11 carries, 16 carries, 15 carries. Targets, 6 targets in 3 games, but face Cincinnati, face Baltimore, face the Chargers, 3 pretty good run defenses. So has a team that's not very good against the run. So I kind of like Nick Chubb there. Raheem Mostert, I think is a pretty good tournament play. We're looking at first look right now, which we are. Going down, Jalen Warren at 53. Not really anybody else down here. No, true injuries yet at the running back. Aaron Jones came back in that game. Najee Harris, you get Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, you still have Etienne, so nothing crazy there at the running back. Wide receiver, we get Justin Jefferson at 86 against Tennessee. I don't think you really need to get there. Amon-Ra, a really good matchup against Jacksonville, goes up in price. Cooper Kupp, I'm fine with that price point matchup there against New England. Tyreek Hill against Vegas, I'm fine with that one as well. Puka Nacua, still fine with that one. Devontae Adams goes above Garrett Wilson in price against Indy. Those guys, yet again, I'm fine with. George Pickens against Baltimore, yeah, he went up in price. He has went up in price. 3 games ago, he was 5,800. He is now 7K. I don't know if I get there. It's a really, really good matchup for George Pickens. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I get there with George Pickens. George Pickens can have a really good game. We've seen him have some good games, but 7K is getting up there in price. Zay Flowers, I kind of like at his price point, 6,900 though. I just think his ceiling is higher than Pickens. Debo Samuel in a good matchup against Seattle. Drink London, Darnell Mooney. This seems like finally we don't have to worry about Atlanta pass catchers. DK Metcalf is, if he's in a pretty good spot, the same as JSN. Jaden Reed. I'm gonna say an okay matchup for Jaden Reed against the Bears. He's gonna see Kyler Gordon, so I'm gonna say it's an okay one. Josh Downs, kind of not interested in Indy receivers this week. Shakir against Kansas City. If Cooper's out, he's kind of another good play. Didn't really pay off, but he did what he had to. Got you 11 points, which the way the slate was, you'd take 11 points. Calvin Ridley in a pretty good spot against Minnesota. Brian Thomas Jr. in a really good spot against Detroit, but I need Trevor Lawrence to be in to play that. DJ Moore, his price goes down, his fantasy's gone down. Maybe with the new offensive coordinator, it goes up. Cortland Sutton against Atlanta, seems like a really good spot. Jameson Williams against Jacksonville, definitely a really good spot there. DeAndre Hopkins against Buffalo, 5,700. I'm fine with that one. Cooper, if he plays, I'm fine with that. Xavier Worthy, kind of not there as of the first look. Jacoby Myers would have to look at the matchup, but I'd lean probably not. That offense is just very, very bad. Romeo Doubs, no. Jerry Jeudy against New Orleans, I'm fine with that, honestly. 5,400. Juwan Jennings, definitely fine with that one. 5,300. Tillman goes up to 5,300. This is, I know he's performed, but this man has went up 2,300 from when Jameis has kind of taken over. The 2,300. Granted, his numbers are amazing, but that jump is crazy. It's a good matchup, though. It is a very good matchup. That just the price jump is crazy. Keenan Allen against Green Bay. I think it's a good matchup for him. Just hope the offense clicks. We start going down here. Ricky Pearsall starting to really get involved in that offense. Gabe Davis, good matchup for him. I need Trevor Lawrence. Demario Douglas in a pretty good spot at 4,700. Maybe Tipton. MVS steals the show. I don't know. When MVS starts doing that stuff, I just don't know anything anymore with football. But Tipton, I guess for his price point, isn't bad. I'd prefer it way cheaper than 4,600 though. We keep going down. Elijah Moore, 4,300 against New Orleans, kind of seems like the cheapest guy. Still, the targets he's seen, 28 targets in 3 games. Does seem like a value play this week. We continue to go down. Mike Williams kind of is intriguing at 4,100 for a value. Bailey at 39 definitely seems interesting as well. Other than that, not seeing too much. Nah, I'm not really seeing too much at the wide receiver. Maybe Keyshawn Boutte at 3,500. But other than that, not really anything. So move on to tight end. Kelsey goes up to 6,300 against Buffalo. I like that one for him. George Kittle 6K against Seattle. Like that matchup as well. Brock Bowers versus Miami. I will take it. It's Brock Bowers. Njoku against New Orleans. Yes, we'll take that one as well. Evan Ingram against Detroit is a tough one. Yet again, I need Trevor Lawrence to have any like for Jacksonville. Dalton Kincaid in a good matchup, but man, I don't get why he went down 4,900 against the Colts, but goes up to 5K against Kansas City. Interesting. Kyle Pitts, yeah, I think he's in a good spot against Denver. Hawkinson, I mean, for his price point, I don't mind that one. Andrews, for his price point, I don't mind that. Tucker Kraft against the Bears, I definitely like that price point matchup for him. Laporte. So this is what I don't get. Laporte is 4,300. Like, going through an injury, okay, maybe we get Brock Wright, but 4,300. He's had 3 games in the last 5 weeks over 10 DraftKings points. Ready? Let's go to Dalton Kincaid. He's had 2, and he's 5K. And Laporta's got an amazing matchup. Amazing. Pat Freiermuth, really good matchup there at 4,200. Cole Kmet, like, why is Cole Kmet at his price point at 40? He should be even cheaper. He should be cheaper. I mean, I love Cole Kmet. I love what he brings to the Bears offense, but his fantasy outcomes this season, he should not be that price point. Hunter Henry, really good matchup against the Rams there. Juwannu Smith, a really good matchup against Vegas. Seems like some good value at tight end this week. Brock Wright, yeah, if Laporta is out for whatever reason, Brock Wright, 3,300 in an amazing spot, amazing price point there. Tyler Conklin, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's been getting volume taken away since Devontae Adams has been there. And even then, we can go to the Jets tight ends really quick. I like to say Ruckert's been getting some targets out of there too, so I do like Tyler Conklin's price. I think he might be a good tournament play there. If Noah Fant's out, AJ Barner, I guess. I mentioned Denver tight ends last week, and if you can bind them, 4.4 out of Troutman, and 4.1 out of Kroll, they paid off, but I mean, individually they did not. Yeah, I can't really see anybody else. I mean, what if Kittle misses? Where do we get the Kittle replacement? Saubert is 2,500, so that might be a play. But yeah, it seems like the afternoon games, you get Seattle, San Fran, Kansas City, Buffalo on the slate. I mean, it is an 11-game slate, which is better than a 10. But I mean, the ownership wasn't crazy last week, so. And then we'll just end it on defenses. Off first look, Tennessee against Minnesota, maybe. Maybe the Bears against Green Bay. Cleveland against New Orleans. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the cheaper ones. And then expensive, Detroit against Jacksonville. Green Bay against Chicago, 3,500. Rams against New England, that one. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the defenses. So, hope you guys did enjoy the video. I will have videos going out the rest of the week over the showdowns, going over cash and tournament towards the end of the week. And then we'll be live on Sunday morning, just going over, my last kind of thoughts before the slate starts. So, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you are interested in joining us, the link for our website is in the description. Very cheap subscription package for our showdown plays, our main slate plays, bets and props, some write-ups going into the slates. And it's not just on DraftKings, on FanDuel as well. So if you're interested in that, check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.